I lost them. Oh, hey, YouTube. DataBard here. Um, so I got a little gutsy with that last video, and turns out they found out my location, and they were this close to getting to me. Slipped their clutches, and I think they've lost the trail once again. So I'm safe for the moment, but probably not for long. Honestly, having to be in an uncomfortable situation like this, probably a good time to talk about something that a lot of organizations are very uncomfortable talking about. Data governance. Right? Um, People don't like talking about governance. As soon as people say data governance or rules or anything like that, the immediate thought is restriction. That I am going to be constrained in what I can do, and that most people don't like being constrained like that, right? We want to be able to have the freedom to do what we want to do. Well, like anything, there's a trade-off. What is the trade-off for being able to do whatever you want? Structure, consistency, and then we get into a lot of scenarios where we try and build these advanced analytical solutions and reports, and we present them up only to find that like 50% of our data was entered in incorrectly, and so the numbers shown on this report are skewed. They're inaccurate. So here's the big point about this with governance. Data governance is not about doing anything more than what you do today, other than doing it in a more organized way. Like, again, think about my last video. There are certain people in your organization that know a whole lot about your data. They're the experts, right? They're the ones you go to when you have answers. The only difference when you move into a governance world is that they take what is in their mind and they turn that into rules and governance and standards, so that when we run into those situations where I'm trying to present on a report and the numbers are off by 10 grand because half of the records I pulled in were entered in incorrectly, that I, as somebody working in data governance, have the power to say, this sort of situation isn't acceptable. We need to do something about this, and we need to change the whole thing, not just the analytical environments, but go all the way back to the source, the people who enter the data, and say, this is what we need to do to enter in this data better. This is why it's important. This is a standard we're going to put in place, and this is what it's going to allow us to do. It's going to allow us to give additional visibility into our business compared to what we can do today. That's all really governance is. And I'll say right now, there are some big products being announced at this conference that specifically address that answer of getting all that organized and being able to establish those policies wherever that data asset exists. The technology is going to be able to do it. That's what happens with many things in data. It's not the technology that holds us back. It's things like management. It's things like data governance. So don't let that data governance term be a pejorative. Build that passion in your organization that we're going to say, no, bad quality data, bad data scenarios is no longer acceptable. We're going to be a data-driven organization, and in order to do that, we're going to take the passion, that dream that we have, and we're just going to organize it. That is going to set you on a great path for a lot of things, including advanced analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. You're going to need to have that governance. That is a clear message from this conference. Speaking of that conference, I'm a little bit undecided on what to do because it is lunchtime and I'm starving, but I need to keep a low profile. I think I'll just keep the hat covered because this right here is how they find me. So I'm going to try and keep it up under wraps and keep a low profile. But for now, stay tight. I'll have more content in the future. For right now, I got to get back on the run. See you next time.